Hey, beautiful friends. So we haven't done a tune in and tune out in quite some time. And I've been feeling a lot this last little bit with energies and that full moon that, I guess it was a couple weeks past now. But since then, there's been a lot of big energies. It's felt like dreams have been really interesting. Healing sessions have been really interesting. So I thought it just might be good to tap in and just kind of ask for those who are going to be watching this. So it may not be for like the full collective, but if you tune in, see if it's something that feels like it speaks to you. And I always do feel like the right people are called to it. So, all right, we'll tap in here. So we can ask and we're all clear. Yep, is this optimal? Yes, okay. On behalf of those watching, yep, perfect. Okay, we're using our chart to start. So we use like our variation of like the emotional code chart. Okay. Nope. It's not trapped emotion, it's not belief, it's not giving me like any timeline, like not past, present, future, over time, anything like that. Mental, emotional, spiritual, behavioral, social, verbal, tribal, karmic. Okay, we got a karmic one coming up here. So let's go from there and see what kind of information it'll give us. Often more of the story will like come in as we go. So let's see. Is optimal? Yeah, okay. Two things we can find on our chart here. So karmic historic is kind of where this is coming from. So oftentimes we go back to like where the root of whatever this thing is and where it's landed, and we'll kind of like pull it out from there, kind of like you're pulling that root out from the ground, so it can't be fed like anymore from that space, from that negative energy. It's like, no, we're going to pull it right out, and the energy that you now start to feed it will be clean and clear, and you're not kind of like returning back to that pain source trying to get your nutrients and needs fed. That's kind of the imaging that's coming in. So let's see what this is. Okay. Taken for granted. So let's write this in. We'll put in appreciated. So the way I do the emotion code is if we take something out, we're always bringing something of equal energy back in. So if one's like an unhealthy energy, when we bring back the appreciated energy in, it's not that we're like really topping it up. So it's like way up here. It's like, well, if the taken for granted was way up here and the appreciated is way up here, when we bring them to balance, we bring them to a beautiful place of harmony, which is good. So we can feel appreciated, we can feel valuable, and all of that. Okay, so let's read what this says. Taken for granted. So you can see if this feels like it resonates to you, and because it's karmic historic, it's probably something that's been in you for quite some time and has just become like a habitual pattern or habitual feeling even, that just kind of shows itself in you, and maybe you've actually become quite accustomed to it and just think that you are that way or life is that way. So this will be a nice shift. So feeling treated with careless indifference, not giving thanks for something accomplished or similar to ignored. So appreciated and like seen. We're also going to put in valued here, because it feels like it lands. Okay, let's see what our next one is. Okay. Oh, and vulnerability, taken for granted and vulnerability. Stability, security, safety. So we want security and safety. Stability was already there, so we don't have to add that in yet. It's already there. So let's read vulnerability. Feeling susceptible to harm, either emotional or physical, unsafe or unstable. Okay. So like I say, these are rooted fairly back in time. For some people, it will be this life. For some people, it will be past life or through different lives. But again, it's like this deep-rooted piece that, you know, we've been consciously or unconsciously feeding from, or trying to get nutrients from, or try to get something from that's just not working. So we pluck ourselves out of that like tainted soil, so to speak, and now get to plant ourselves into, you know, that soil of appreciation, seen, valued, security, safety, and into places that truly get to hold us, if that makes sense, and feed us those healthy nutrients, so healthy soil for vitality. Not just life, because we can live in that toxic soil, or we can live in that poisoned soil and still grow, but we don't grow great, and it doesn't feel good a lot of the time, and we're kind of just like, we're alive, but not truly like vibrant and living. So this, you know, it puts us in that better soil where we really get to come to life. So that's nice. And it does start from within and then out into the world. So again, these are probably fairly, I want to say like dormant or unconscious, or just like you feel them, but they become normal. They become normalized. So let's see. Sway, motion code, Reiki. No, we are going to use symbols though. Is it Reiki symbols? No. Okay, let me see. Oh, okay. So we are using like Reiki symbols, but the way I do symbols is different than the way that we've been kind of trained in them. Like I've been shown, well, I got shown how to use them like as physical tools, but also like the 3D, like I want to call it like animation, but it's not animation. But like what they actually do and how they actually work, and I know how to like put those pieces together or separate them. So we're gonna bring it into like, it's not just this Reiki ancient symbol, it's like we're bringing it to life, which is kind of cool, because this energy is about bringing to life. Okay, so we are going to use quote unquote like Reiki symbols, but the way they come to me and through me. So let's see, there's 2 of them. Okay, so Halu is our first one. So it's going to look like I'm just doing kind of that 2D symbol. Halu, Halu, Halu. But then I have extra pieces to it. So it's like a cutting of cords with that belief, or it is like this coming down and plucking, you know, that piece we don't need off. It cuts it off, and we get to, you know, stay grounded, but release. It's almost like God's hands come in and are just like, no, 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 we're going to take that away. And it gets to be taken away in its like sealed container, and you get to stay in like your sealed container, and it's absolutely 100% separate. So that's lovely. And let's see what our second one is. Is it one of our main ones? No. Let me grab my Reiki binder. The Master's binder has many different symbols in it. Just make notes here, so we'll go from there and see what it is. Okay, no. Interestingly enough, we're doing Halu again, so for a second time. Here it says restores balance and brings about deep healing. It symbolizes love, truth, beauty, and harmony. Okay, nice. Halu, Halu, Halu. Seeing if it's going to show me anything else. Yesterday it showed me this differently than how I'd seen it before, and I'm trying to recall. I'm trying to recall how it showed me that. Oh, okay, I do remember. It's not for this one though. we're done for that one. So that's really interesting. I don't think anything else is going to come through with it. Let's see. No, it is kind of like being grounded back in though, but like there is that piece of it having that strong base where you are connected to earth, like how I was talking about like pulling it out of earth. But there is this groundedness of like healthy soils, healthy grounding, healthy embodiment. Yeah, just being grounded to earth too. Like you are clear of that, but you are also grounded to earth. So it's not like you've been completely uprooted and now you're not touching anything. Like you need to be kind of like planted back in again. So there is kind of that piece that feels good. Okay, there's more with this one. So let's just tap in and see what the next piece is, because it will complete some of this story or bring us to where we need to be in this time here and now. Okay. Is it on our chart? No, inner child. Okay. So we're going to do some like ascension type work here, inner child, or at least it's going to show us it that way. It's not going to give us an age, but it is going to tell us a script. Dad, heart, God, quantum, no. Flames, golden hands, no. It's one of the alternative scripts. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I know this is a little longer than usual here. Me finding the spaces. Healing scripts, okay. Yes. Okay, so this is just, typically it's done with you and a person where we need to like release from an abusive story or abusive situation or something that's been really unhealthy. But here we're really just doing, like, it does go with this karmic historic piece of like taken for granted and vulnerability. Like we really are going to cut all the connective energies, contracts, agreements, pieces that have kind of held you to this. And it's not going to laying to rest, but we are going to allow it to really be taken away. And what's cool about that Halu symbol in the last one was like, how I see it is God or the divine kind of coming in and being like, this is not yours anymore. Like you've learned this lesson. We take this away. We've got your back. It's not just you kind of doing it on your own and being like, I cut cords and I, like no longer want this, and having that conscious awareness of it and then the action through it. Spirit's like, this part of your story gets to be complete. So we're going to do like a little visualization that's going to help to just assist to kind of take this further, which is cool. So this is the one that we want. So if it feels good here, see about like closing your eyes and see if a vision can kind of come up of what the energy of taken for granted and vulnerability looks like. And we want them kind of like fused together, or maybe you have like two colors kind of coming in. Like for me, I can see almost like a yellow and a green, like courting, kind of intermingled and mixed and kind of like messy, like a yarn ball, but not that organized, like wires, it feels like. And so for me, that's the visual that kind of comes in. And see what comes up for you. It might be different. When I've done, these kind of things before, sometimes I'll see like smoke or fog, or, there'll be kind of different pieces like that. So give yourself a minute or so, like just to see what bubbles up for you. Again, the visual we're inviting ourselves to notice here, taken for granted and vulnerability. And so once you have this kind of visual, just call yourself into like safe and sacred space. So you're kind of looking at it like it's out right in front of you. And so we'll have you take some nice deep breaths, visualizing yourself in safe and sacred space, surrounded by all your guides and guardians. See this taken for granted and vulnerability at a safe distance, now sealed in a solid, clear container. See any connective energies, contracts, and agreements between you both completely dissolved and voided out from this or any other lifetime. Now see all your energy from all lifetimes' timelines cleansed, cleared throughout the divine's golden white waterfall, and return to you now, seeing your mind, body, heart, and spirit completely restored and illuminated. We ask for any of the energies that have played the role of taken for granted and vulnerability to be cleared and returned. See that energy now being carried off. See and feel your guides and guardians supporting you in love and light, concluding and completing this story. We command all blessed free, all return to innocence, now and forever. It is done, and so it is, and it is so. Beautiful. Yeah, so take a moment and just see how things feel after letting that go. Okay, tap back in. There is more we can do, and it's on our chart. Okay, present time. Yep. So this is for all of us who are watching and still taking part. Belief. Okay, we got one. And lost. Present, clarity, grounded. Nice. So we had talked about that grounding, right, in the first one. And coming into that new grounds, right? And so it's going to make sense for us to have little bits of like transition time. We're not fueling ourselves from that old energy anymore that unconsciously, we were, or consciously, we're going to be in this new place, drawing in that energy of the new energy and new things that we're holding on to: appreciation, seen, valued, security, and safety. So at first, even though it's beautiful or balanced, it's going to feel a little bit different, right? So it's not so much like the clarity of our vision that we need here with this lost, but it is this grounding in. So there's a moment of like allowing yourself to just like almost be heavy and let yourself kind of be planted and let those roots go out, like welcoming and allowing the new nutrients of this like fertile soil to come into you and feed you in a different way than it has before. And so the grounding feels big. Let's see, are we doing energy work with it? No. Is it a practice we do? No. Okay. Do we just need to know it? Nope, there is something we do. It's not Mara. That would make sense. No. Okay, give me a moment. Oh, it's gonna be just like getting your bare feet out on the earth. And I know it's kind of chilly and kind of wet out there today, where I am at least. But getting your feet on the ground and almost start to envision again, like it can be this bit of visualization, or welcoming in, where we just like allow like these roots to just grow out of your feet, like down and into the earth, and plant yourself in like the here and the now, and you're not doing things the way you used to, and the things that used to feed you aren't feeding you anymore, and good new nutrients and vital energy is entrients. I like that. It's kind of like energy nutrients. We'll make a new word here, are coming up and into you, which is nice because it kind of sounds like entrance. So it is like this new pathway that's allowing all this new energy to come in, which is lovely, because as I'm feeling that, like we talk a lot about neural pathways in the brain and like changing beliefs and stuff like that. Well, this is cool because it's almost coming from that different energy place. It's like we're creating new, they're not neural pathways, but new energy pathways from the earth up and into us for our grounding. And it definitely feels like much more solid and earth-based and a little less spacey and a little less like mindish and more body-ish. And so there's like this comfort and calm and that safety, stability, like we talked about, that really comes in here. So like allowing your roots to kind of spread wide and reach that water. Maybe they go down nice and deep. Maybe they go out a little bit wide. Like you can choose what those kind of look like. Maybe it births like a whole tree underneath you, underground, and like a root system that just feeds who you are in this new healthy soil. So take some time, and it's so not on the pavement, not on the cement, like get your feet on the grass, get your feet on the earth, get your feet in the mud, whatever that is, that's actual like earth, and let this energy come up and create new pathways into you. You into the earth and it into you. And it's a whole new way of like cohabitating almost here on this planet with this planet, because as that energy feeds you, you also, you know, in your energy and your alignment and your love, give back to this earth by being that magnificent being that you are. And when we're healthier, of course, mind, body, spirit, we give more love, we give more of that back. We help to harmonize not just ourselves, but the world and the earth around us. So it becomes like a very beautiful symbiotic relationship with ourselves and earth and others. So yeah, that's where we leave it today. That feels very beautiful, a little different, but definitely aligning for the things I've been feeling and seeing. So hopefully that feels great for you too. And at any time, like, do reach out. We can do this work for you, like personally, one-on-one. That is something I love to do, and I'm honored to do when the time is right for you. And so much love. Bye.